Good morning, Nerdfighteria. I am Luna, and today I thought I would take you with me while I make a book ribbons card. Sometimes when you buy a journal or a Bible, they'll come with a ribbon that's kind of bound into the book as a permanent bookmark. And I love those. But did you know that you can actually buy a card, looks kind of like this, that has ribbons attached to it that you can insert into the book yourself? There is this gap in between the pages and the binding in any hardcover book. And you get this card and you just kind of slip it into that gap, and now your book has ribbons. I use a sewing machine. I'm not sure that you could do this sewing by hand, only because you have to sew through a piece of cardboard. I'm using just the flap off of an oatmeal box. Just a scrap piece of fabric. I'm a quilter, so I have scrap fabric everywhere, but you can buy what they call a fat quarter for $2. That'll make a ton of these. The first thing we need to do is measure how big we need our piece of cardboard to be. How we do that is we take our book and we look at the gap here, and we just take the card. We're going to put our card right in our book, or right next to our book binding there, and use a marker or a pen just to make a line where we need to cut. And now I'm just going to cut where that line is. I'm making this about 2.5 inches. And now we got to decide how big our piece of fabric is going to be. You're just going to take your piece of cardboard and put it onto your piece of fabric about 2 or 3 centimeters from the end of the piece of fabric. Then you're going to pick it up and fold it over. Take your marker and make a mark right at the end there. So now we have this mark, and that is where I'm going to cut my fabric. Our next step is to decide how long we need our ribbons to be. I like to cut it so that there's about 2.5 inches on each side of the book. I'm going to take my little card and I'm going to tape the ribbons to the card. 1.5 to 2 inches from the end. The first thing we're going to do is just kind of make a little bit of a hem just on the ends. So now it's time to sew our fabric piece around our card. We're going to take our fabric piece and we're going to lay it flat on the table. And we're going to put our card on top of it like so. We're going to fold one side over to the top of the card. We're going to tape that side down. And now the other end, we're going to fold it over just a little bit, like so. And this is where I said earlier you're going to wind up sewing through your cardboard. You want to start like in the middle so that the sewing machine doesn't have to do the work of kind of picking up the cardboard. Now, just trim the excess threads, open your book, slip it into that spot,